My name is Donzell Ward. I was born in Michigan and I grew up in Mississippi. My stepfather, he was a carpenter. Basically, he did basically what I'm doing right now.
Right.
At that age, I was a little bit too young to know what exactly he was doing. I didn't swing no hammer or anything like that. I was just in the environment and I picked up his trade. I always wanted to be in like corporate jobs. I wanted to be Wall Street. Ultimately, I always from day one, I was like, I want to be Wall Street because I always wanted to dress in suit and tie, and just do Wall Street corporate stuff. Later on in my life, I ended up working corporate.
Right.
But I found my passion, like getting dirty and doing more hands-on things. During the summertime, we used to go back to Michigan to my other family, and I always wanted to make money. So what I did was I used to cut grass.
Okay.
I used to walk around cutting grass, knocking on people's doors, be like, hey, can I cut your grass? Can I cut your grass? And it started me out. Back then, $10, $15 per yard.
Right.
That was a lot of money to me.
Right.
So
Not now, but
not now, but yeah, definitely back then. School wasn't like my main thing. But you know, what brought me to loving school and liking school was I played sports.
Okay.
So sports was my drive to make the grades to keep playing sports. I graduated at Caledonia. After graduation, I got a 2-year scholarship to East Mississippi to play football. And when I finished up my 2 years at the community college, I went to Mississippi State. So I went to college probably about 30 minutes from where I stayed at. I was presented the opportunity of a mobile home for sale. So I ended up buying that. I think at that time it was like $1,500 for a mobile home. And I used the money I had, I saved and stuff like that to buy it. Then this was my first actual like fixing it up and getting used to like everything within I guess a flip, you could say.
okay.
At the same time, my stepdaddy was around, so he helped. My uncles, they was all in construction as well too. So they helped me with this. I stepped in there, fixed it up. I rented it out to a friend the first year.
Right.
Bad mistake. I ended up having to evict them, and they just left the house, they left the mobile home in bad shape. So my second renter, now with my second renter, they end up trashing the place, so they end up putting it in pretty much back in the same position I bought it in. But I learned from that as well too.
Right. Okay.
So I'm bumping my head.
A lot of learning going on.
Yes, but at the same time, I got a good team around me.
Okay.
When I say team, I'm talking about my stepdad, my uncles, everybody that helped pitch in to make everything come back together. I had my mother in my ear as well too.
Okay.
Mother, hey, you doing a good job. A lot of people encouraged me. It just encouraged me.
Right.
Encouraging me to just keep going. You know, I got them out. I fixed it up, and then at this time I was like, man, I just need a break. I fixed it up enough to sell it, wash my hands with it.
Right.
So after I sold the mobile home,
Right.
By that time I finished college. So I went to Mississippi State for a general business degree. I got a general business degree. From there, I kind of left that alone for a second. My first job outside of college was working MTP with Sherwin-Williams. At the same time, I was dating my wife at the time. She got a job up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And her name is
Maria Ward.
Maria Ward, obviously.
She graduated a semester before I did, and she got a job up here in Tennessee. So what brought me up here is I was still working at Sherwin-Williams, found out that I have a son on the way.
Okay.
We were suspecting.
Awesome.
So I did everything that I could at that time to get up here. At the time, Sherwin-Williams didn't have an opening for me, so that made me apply for different other positions up here because I had to. My goal was to be a father. Kept applying, and I finally got a job offer with U.S. Express 1 month before he was born. I got a position to work weekends only.
Okay.
And with that weekends only, it allowed me to tap back into what I love to do.
I got you.
And that's flipping houses.
I bought my first flip house 2 years when I was up here. I bought it on auction.com, and basically it was sight unseen. Okay. So I can drive by it, but the house was boarded up, so I didn't know what it looked like. And once again, I paid $20,000 for this house. Okay. Then I had to wire the money to somewhere in California. And I was like, ooh, I had to check to make sure it was just a legit site or anything. Right. But it was. So after I bought the house, I had to break in the house I bought because they don't give you a key for it. I got in, I looked around, the electrical was taken out of there, the copper was taken out, but I have some walls that wasn't busted open, and the floor wasn't too bad. So I was like, okay, it's not that bad. And then it had a basement where I can see underneath the house, a crawl space pretty much. So I'm like, okay, it's not too bad. It was me and my mother, we worked on it. The days I was off, like from early in the morning, late at night, and then I come home and just take care of my wife, take care of my child at the time. See, I had one child at the time, and it took us probably 8 months for that first, and I think it stayed on the market for about a month. I made probably close to $20,000 off that. No, after I sold my first flip house, that motivated me to just keep on going.
How it went is my third, we was going for the number 3. Going back to that, we was going for number 3. Ended up having twins. Dallas and Delaney is the twins. And when the twins was born, my mother ended up passing 4 months after. Okay. So she was able to see, my mother was able to see me in the process, because at that same time, right before my twins was born, I was in the process of transitioning to doing this full time. So she was able to be with them for 4 months before she ended up passing. And that I always looked up to my mother. I always seen her entrepreneur spirit. She used to make things and sell things around the house, from dolls to dresses and just different items that she also used to do. She was a beautician as well too. I got a lot of my creativity from her. A day after my twins was born, I left US Express. I made enough to do my part in the household. Me and my wife, we had a plan. We both was in agreement for it.
That's always good.
And it is. It's always good when your wife, y'all on the same team, and you know, she's supporting you. I saved up enough for 9 months. Mm-hmm. I told her 9 months, let me, whatever I make within this 9 months, let me put back into the business and let me grow the business from there. 9 months. And years later, I haven't missed any meals, I haven't missed any payments, anything like that.
You look like you look good too, so okay.
So I invested basically the first several months, I invested everything I made back into the business. So it took me 5 years to get to the part of I'm just going to do this full time. I went to different shows, contractor shows, networked with different people. I bumped elbows, met some people at Home Depot. Okay. I just, people that do what I was doing.
Okay. But you put yourself out there.
I put myself out there.
Okay.
And I wasn't scared to talk to anybody. I wasn't scared to feel like I didn't know. Because once again, I don't know, because I was still learning as I go. I'm 10 years into it right now, and still call on my mentors for different questions. Last year, we probably got close to $1 million gross. This year, we definitely way over $1 million in gross. So Sugar, Spice, and Everything Ice is a business outside of construction. Right. So it's more of, we sell shave ice and Italian ice. And pretty much the whole concept was, I always hear my wife talking about, I always wanted to do a snow biz. And snow biz back in Mississippi was a pretty big thing. So we had the opportunity, I was searching on Facebook, so I seen a trailer that was converted into, it was snow biz up here in Tennessee. I was like, and they're selling it, everything came with it. So it was like a turnkey sale, and it was in our budget. So I was like, man, this would be a good idea. Good opportunity.
Right.
So I went, looked at it, called her on the phone, was like, hey, this trailer looked like what it looked like on the picture. Like, it looked like in person. So we pulled the trigger. We got that trailer. So early 2021, and then we end up having a successful business. We open it up. Do I need to get that?
You
Or
can
do,
get it,
do I
yeah.
need it? Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everything piggybacks off another.
Right.
Even though sugar and spice is more like a food, customer service, something like that,
Right.
and Ward's construction is more hands-on, physical stuff. We all dealing with the public.
Right.
We all doing a product, building a product
Right.
to sell to the customer or making the customer happy. The drive that I got is people always saying I can't do it, or the drive of just seeing I'm trying to leave something for my kids. My ultimate goal is to start a business and then let the business run itself. I want the business to run without me. So my journey in the last 8 to 10 years have been incredible. Every business can be stressful, but I always say this is a enjoyable stress.
Right.
Because even though some days are harder than others, I love what I do.